after getting fired.
That's fair.
And I think he's probably going to look himself in the mirror and think, what do I need to do to be better?
That's true. That quick motion stuff, that quick throwing, that'd be good with Cam Ward.
This is The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
He could have Tua with an actual arm.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa, Internet World, West Alabama. How are we doing today on a Tuesday? Happy Tuesday. It's the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com. Hope you and yours are doing well. We're live in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios right here off McFarland Boulevard in Tuscaloosa. You can call Derek for all your insurance needs at 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. You can call Purple Turtle Roofing for all of your roofing needs. Call them at 877-787-6635 for all your roofing needs. They'll come out and give you a free roof inspection today. Make sure that you've got your peace of mind. Purple Turtle Roofing sponsors the program as well. We appreciate everybody who's watching us on the Bama Central YouTube channel, on the Bama Central Facebook page. You may or may not be watching us on Twitter today. I don't know if Elon's app is working correctly this morning, but if you are, it's at Joe Gaither 6. It's at MA Woods _ right there. You can find the show right there, or of course you can find the show on your favorite podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Red Circle, BUBBL, you can find the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. We are going to have a lot of fun today. We invite you to jump in on the comment section. We invite you to jump in on the voicemail line at 205-462-7340, extension 800. We're going to have a lot of fun talking about a big Tuesday, big Monday. Excuse me. It is a big Tuesday. Yesterday was a big Monday for the Alabama football team. Yesterday, Theo and I spent most of the day talking about really Alabama's approach to the transfer portal, the misses over the weekend, the losses, Moneyball, where's the money going? We outlined that the money wasn't really as deep as you may or may not have thought. So we're going to have a lot of fun today with Mason Woods. Follow Mason Woods at MAWoods _ on the Twitter machine. We are going to talk about Bray Hubbard. We're going to talk about Ty Haywood. We're going to talk about Larkin, right? Larkin Quinn.
That's what we found.
Right. And Noah Rogers as well. So as Alabama added 3 players out of the transfer portal yesterday and welcomed Bray Hubbard back ahead of the NFL draft announcement date, which is tomorrow. So we'll see if Yanzi Pierre also announces his return. I kind of think he is going to return, but I also think there's a decent chance that he ends up going off to the NFL. So we'll talk about all kinds of things today. Alabama basketball playing tonight at Mississippi State, 8 p.m. We'll see if the boys can bounce back. A pretty discouraging injury report as well. So just tough times for the basketball team. So we've got a lot to get into with you guys today, and we hope you're doing well. Mason Woods, good morning, sir. How was the weekend? How are we feeling?
Good weekend. It was pretty, relatively fun. I mean, I got to watch a lot of good football, so can't complain about that. There was really only, I guess, 2 games that weren't super competitive, but I mean, even the Chargers-Patriots was a decent game after all. But the ones before that, the 3 leading in were like some of the best football games we've maybe ever watched in the playoffs. So I was pretty happy with what everything I got to see this weekend. I was last night getting ready to watch the national championship without realizing it is actually next week. So that was a bit disappointing, but it's okay.
Yeah, be a little tough to do the semifinals on Thursday, Friday, then have the title game on Monday.
They could do it. Tighten it up.
They ought to. They ought to for sure. We'll be doing that next week. Yeah. Chris asked me if I could help with the Miami coverage. I said, whatever you need, man. It's all right. So we'll see if Miami can pull off a big upset. Right. We'll see if they can pull off a big upset.
I truly don't know who I'm rooting for in that game.
Drama. That's all.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. I just want to see a good, fun game and a lot of good storylines.
2 minutes left on the clock. Somebody's down by 3 with the ball.
Oh yeah.
Somebody's down by 4 with the ball. You got to score a touchdown.
Even
right?
better.
That's a lot of fun. So we'll see if Carson Beck
makes himself a first-round pick.
If Carson Beck wins that game, the Georgia Bulldog fan base is going to lose their minds. I've got a couple of Georgia friends that I am in a group chat with, and every time Miami plays, it's bleep that guy.
I'm not sure.
Hate him. And they say, but in the same breath, they go, well, we're better with Gunner. We're better. Gunner's better. And I'm like, if you are better with Gunner, why are you still mother bleeping your ex-girlfriend? Like,
I don't know that we could have gotten a better quarterback matchup than we did. Like two just complete opposite ends of the spectrum with Fernando Mendoza and Carson Beck. I cannot wait to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun next Monday. Mason, we talked yesterday with Theo. Let's just get your opinion kind of right about Alabama's approach to the transfer portal, because you missed Cam Coleman and people are, well, you didn't spend $3.5 million. $3.5 million saved.
Yeah.
You missed Cam Coleman, and Hollywood Smothers officially made his intentions clear. Is going to Texas, is not coming to Alabama. So two big kind of storylines developing over the weekend. I feel like there was somebody else that you wanted, but you didn't end up getting. We talked about it last week with Jakaris Peak, not even coming to campus. We talked about it with Jordan Ross,
UTGRV receiver, with the Iowa.
Oh goodness gracious!
What a choice,
Tony Diaz.
Tony Diaz. That's a bit of damning evidence right there that a wide receiver is going to choose an Iowa offense over your own.
Yikes. So my theory is that Alabama needs to be playing Moneyball. I mean, you're trying to find guys who want to prove themselves from lower levels or are on last chances, like Kedrick Bingley Jones, the Mississippi State defensive lineman that you pulled in on Sunday night, who's going into his 7th year. Spent 3 years with North Carolina. No, that's not. Spent 4 years with North Carolina. Yeah, 5 and 6. Two years at Mississippi State. Took a COVID year, medical redshirt year, regular redshirt year.
Welcome aboard, buddy.
Right. And so, like, you find a guy like that. Oh, he's only 121st defensive lineman transfer. Look at him. He's 6'4", 6'3",
6'4", 320.
Right, big man who's played 0 technique and 3 technique and all over the defensive line.
And he has seen a lot of college football.
And so that's my take, is that this Alabama coaching staff needs to take a money ball approach, because you only have finite resources. You don't have Texas oil money. You're probably not operating in the Vanderbilt sphere where they're throwing money at guys like Jared Curtis. You probably are. I mean, you're not operating in the LSU sphere as well.
Nope.
So there's several teams in your own conference that are outspending you, and not just outspending you by a little bit, but throwing big time dollars. And so this coaching staff needs to be creative. It needs to find guys like Tony Diaz and guys like Kedrick Bingley Jones. What a mouthful. To come in, and obviously you missed on Tony Diaz, but you made up for it yesterday with getting Noah Rogers from NC. Was NC State like super good last year?
So that was like something I did want to say. Like, I'm watching Noah Rogers highlights, and he looks good. Don't get me wrong. But I am blown away by this quarterback, CJ Bailey. Did I just miss this? 6'6", 210 pounds. He threw for 3,000 yards this year, 25 touchdowns, 9 picks. I didn't watch a single game of NC State.
That's because he was handing the ball off to Hollywood Smothers and getting protected by Jakaris Peak.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. NC State might be pretty good. He is returning to the Wolfpack for next season, so props to him for not just taking a bag at some other school. But I might have to tune into some Wolfpack games next year.
Woo! Too sweet. So basically that's my theory. That's my thought, is that Hunter Brantley called in on the voicemail. Where's all the money going? It's $20 million. Where's it all going? How much are they actually paying Ryan Williams? And I said, well, it's not $20 million. And confirmed yesterday by Emily Small, Tuscaloosa News writes she apparently found out how much rev share basketball is getting. I think she said it was 2.5%, something like that. But it ends up being right at $3 million for the basketball roster. So it's 20.5 minus 3 is 17. I estimated $750,000. I just wanted to see how far that went. And so $17 million divided by a $750,000 salary is right at 23 players. I was like, the money is being spent on the roster.
Yeah.
And obviously not every player is getting $750, but some players like Ryan Williams and like Bray Hubbard, I'm sure.
1.5.
Yeah, exactly. And so it evens out. So some players are getting 200, some players are getting 75, some players are getting 125. Okay. It's a scale for sure, but it goes fast. Yeah. And so without having Johnny Oil Man out there in Coleman, out there and wherever, which you don't have. It goes pretty quickly. What was your just reaction to the weekend, reaction to the scuttlebutt of the fan base went absolutely berserk on the social media machines. And obviously the social media machines are just little picture. What did you think of everything that happened? And what do you think how can Alabama move forward to construct the best roster, at least in 26 and then beyond?
I mean, I think you're exactly right. It's you have to play Moneyball here because it is blatantly obvious at this point that you're just not going to compete with, the other 5, 6, 7, 8 schools that are kind of right there at the top money wise. Like, you're just not going to. I saw somebody say yesterday, when it comes out what these schools have spent on their rosters, I would be shocked if Alabama cracks the top 10. And I don't disagree with that because you just don't have that kind of money. Now, I think a lot of people maybe thought that, well, they'll find the money. It's like, you can't just make money out of thin air. Like, you don't have a Todd Graves. You don't have a oil tycoon. You don't even have a Jimmy Rain, really. Like, you just don't have those kind of that alumni base to back you up. Mark Cuban donating buttloads of money to Indiana. Didn't even say exactly what it was. Just, it's a big gift. You just don't have the luxury of turning to a massive alumni base who is all uber wealthy that can just kind of throw money at your football program and not even think twice about it. You just have to operate with kind of one hand tied behind your back. It just is what it is. Now, do I trust this coaching staff to maybe do that? I think the jury's still out. They pivoted pretty well this weekend, I think, after missing out on those guys. You go and get Noah Rogers, like you said, to replace not to replace, but instead of getting a Cam Coleman or even a Tony D, like you get a receiver, and I'm happy with that. You get another offensive lineman, good former 5-star player who seemingly has a pretty high ceiling. We'll see what he does here in a Crimson uniform. But like I said, I think you pivoted pretty well. I think this fan base just has to kind of come to grips with, okay, we can't compete in the transfer portal like an Ohio State can, like a Notre Dame can, like a Texas, which Notre Dame isn't really doing anything, but it's just money-wise, you're not there.
Well, you pivoted, as you said, and you brought in, you secured the commitment of 3 players yesterday. You secured the commitment of wide receiver Noah Rogers, of offensive lineman Ty Haywood, and of kicker Lachlan Quinn. Let's go to the voicemail line because I know that Cam is on the voicemail line at 205-462-7340, extension 800. We'll let him lead out the conversation.
What's going on, guys? Cam here. I have a feeling we're going to be discussing this transfer portal nonsense till we're blue in the face for the rest of the year, but I'm all for the money ball method because you want to make your dollar go as far as it can go. But you got to know what to invest your money into. Like, look at all these teams that have made it so far in the playoffs, and Indiana is a prime example. They don't have blue chip talent all over the skill positions, and yes, they got the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, but guess what? Got him through the portal. They didn't recruit Mendoza. But like I said, they invest, and a lot of other teams like Miami is included as well. They both have one thing in common: the lines of scrimmage on offense and defense. That's where they put the majority of their rep share into the line of scrimmage. And it shows. And it shows that we do not do that because obviously we couldn't run the ball. We couldn't pass protect. Look at us now. We also don't even have depth on the offensive line or the defensive line to put bodies on the field. That's where they're messing up. They cannot be afraid to spend money mainly on the offensive and defensive line. You've got to spend money to survive nowadays, man. Like, the money ball technique is great, but it's obviously showing that it's not working. And we, like I said, look at Clemson and Dabo. They didn't want to adapt to this new system of football and NIL and transfer portal, and look at how far he's fallen off. People want him gone. And just about 10 years ago, people were just praying that he would come here and coach when Saban left. And me personally, I don't want nothing to do with Dabo Swinney anymore, and I was one of those guys that wanted him just because these guys don't want to adapt to this new era of college football we're in, and it's showing. Hopefully they'll come to their senses and start spending some money on these big guys because we sure as heck need them. Roll Tide, guys.
He's exactly right. At least from my perspective. You can chime in a second, but like I think he's exactly right. Because you've seen the Indiana and Miami examples are right there in front of your face, and they're elite on the offensive line. Indiana goes in the portal and takes, hey, Pat Coogan, you were playing for the national champion Notre Dame Fighting or national championship runner up, Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and they don't have a spot for you. We'll pay you. Come play for us. But building off this, you've seen young players, freshmen. I mean, I think Lozier Brooks was amazing this year. I think he was incredible this year, actually. But I don't really know that 3-star recruit out of New Jersey cost you that much as a high schooler. And so go do the work, beef both the lines. And if it becomes a situation where skill player XYZ becomes, oh, I scored 8 touchdowns for the Crimson Tide this year, I'm going to go cash in at Texas A&M. Let Texas A&M, with their infinite resources, pay Isaiah Horton to transfer out or whatever, to pay him to play his last year. And look, I think EJ Crowell is going to be a stud next year. Do I think EJ Crowell is making $1 million? Oh, no, I think he's getting close already, but I don't think he's making $1 million.
I think you got a bit of a hometown discount with him.
Sure. Yes. And so be creative and find you some running backs and find you some wide receivers that you can get on a discount because they grow on trees. I mean, look at the NFL. It's starting to come around a little bit, but running backs, they're like, we're not drafting you in the first round. We're not paying you big bucks. We'll let you walk and draft another one. Like,
yeah, I mean, there was almost 10 years there probably where it was just like, is this the death of the running back? And like you said, it's starting to maybe swing back a little bit now, but there's still a lot of people in the NFL that are, I can find that in the 5th round. I can find that in the 6th round,
And what you can't find, I mean, and you see this when you watch the NFL draft, you get a tackle who's got any sort of promise, defensive or offensive. Oh, you're getting selected early. Yeah. And so I think Cam is exactly right that in order to maximize the Moneyball approach, you go cheaper on the skill position and you go more expensive or you spend on the offensive and defensive line.
I agree with the sentiment. Alabama did spend on their offensive line though. Like, you brought Cam Dewberry in, you kept Caden Proctor here, you brought Parker Brailsford in when Kalen DeBoer came from Washington. Like, you did spend some money on this offensive line. You just spent it on bad players, seemingly. I mean, we can talk about, sure, if you just want to go get as many offensive linemen as you can, that's great, but it means nothing if they're not any good. And that's kind of where Alabama have found themselves this year. I don't know what the numbers are, but you were paying a lot of money to Caden Proctor to go out there and be a traffic cone. You were paying a lot of money to Cam Dewberry to go out there and just get his feet tangled up with the guy beside him and trip and fall and let somebody sack your quarterback. You were probably paying a decent amount of Parker Brailsford, which he was pretty good, but even he had his moments. So, I'm looking here at Miami and Indiana. Both of them have one transfer along their offensive line from this season. Brockermeyer for Miami and Coogan for Indiana. The other guys, which Indiana brought the dudes from James Madison, they've been there for 2 years now, so they're not going to show up here on this R-Lads page. But Miami developed a lot of these guys. They recruited and developed really well at the offensive line.
Aren't the Malinoga brothers twins? There's one on the offensive line and one on the defensive line, one on the a linebacker.
I think so. Man.
They got Francis and but they're twins. One's a lineman, one's a linebacker, I think.
Yeah.
And then they've got a tackle, right? Miami has a left or a right tackle that has a pretty short name that's apparently really good.
Markel Bell.
Yes.
So, look, those teams did spend long off. They spent to keep their talent there. They spent to bring in bits and pieces here and there where they knew they needed them. And that's the route Alabama should take. But it is not as simple as just, direct all your money to the offensive line, because you still have to be able to scout good players. And I don't know that this staff can. I know they can get good skill position guys. We've seen it. You saw it with Lozier Brooks last year. I think you will probably continue to see it with the guys that are stepping into bigger roles this season at skill positions. But I don't know how well they evaluate offensive and defensive line talent.
Well, that's going to be a question, because they brought in 2 guys from the same team. You brought in Caden Strayhorn, and you brought in yesterday Ty Haywood.
seemingly good additions. But again, like Ty Haywood was a guy who, big time 5-star prospect, 5-star plus. I think he even committed to Alabama at one time before going to Michigan. Barely found the field last year. Now, he was a true freshman, sure, mind you, but like barely saw the field. I mean, and Strayhorn was not a regular starter from what I understand. He was a rotational guy at best. So like you're bringing in, and this is mean, but like you're bringing in cast-offs from other programs. You're not bringing in actual like solidified offensive linemen who have spent a lot of time in college football, maybe in the slightly lower level or something like that. And then they're jumping to like, I don't know.
Are you taking the Moneyball approach right here by taking, hey man, you didn't play that much. You were big dog in Texas, big time tackle recruit in Texas. You were committed to us. Michigan paid you XYZ. You didn't get on the field much. So they were going to give you a pay cut.
Yeah. That's fair.
IMG, Caden Strayhorn, big time plays. Come to Tuscaloosa, play with your buddy Michael Carroll, make this number instead of that number, and develop a little bit. I think you're starting to get into a better spot on the offensive line because with the addition of Haywood, you now have 12 scholarship players, and you really want about 15, I think. And so you're looking for 3 more, but look at the line right now. What are you really what are you really going to be going after? Okay, your right tackle is set.
Yeah.
Michael Carroll was out there and he talked about, I want to keep playing right tackle. I want to be 3 and done. Okay, your left guard is probably set with William Sanders.
Yeah.
Katie Wyndham did a great piece on William Sanders yesterday. Your right guard, Caden Strayhorn. Strayhorn's probably playing right guard or center.
Yep.
And so there you go. And then left tackle, is it going to be Jackson Lloyd? Is it going to be Ty Haywood? You look at either of those two guys and both potential, but you have potential of both guys, 2 redshirt freshmen. So you're going to be young, but like high pedigree, 5-star and almost 5-star in Ty Haywood.
Well,
and then you look at the center, and so it's like who's playing center? That becomes a little bit of a question mark. It does. But I think there are guys on the roster that can play center. Let me flip to my page right. Not that page. Was it this one? Yeah. Oh. So your offensive line right now, Casey Poe, Michael Carroll, William Sanders, Jackson Lloyd, Mal Waldrop, Caden Strayhorn, Ty Haywood, Chris Booker, Bryson Cooley, Bear Fretwell, Tyrell Miller, Jared Doty. And so I'm thinking, is Casey Poe playing center? Is William Sanders playing center? Is Caden Strayhorn playing center and Casey Poe is playing guard? Is Chris Booker? I really like Chris Booker. Going to be playing guard, and Caden Strayhorn is playing center. Like, you've got enough bodies at this point with that are highly rated, that are high, highly thought of talent wise. But the scary thing is, redshirt freshman, sophomore, redshirt sophomore, freshman, true freshman, like very young, young.
Maybe that's a blessing in disguise because you'll have a bit of continuity from one year to the next, maybe along the offensive line, hopefully. But this offensive line looked pretty good on paper last year too. There's a lot of high pedigree guys on that offensive line last year too.
Yes, several of them were from the old regime.
That is accurate.
And you have seen a pretty big, hey, all you guys are out.
Sure. Fair. I am encouraged by the pivot they made this weekend in the transfer portal. I think they brought in potentially good guys, high ceiling players. But I'm just not going to do this to myself again where I think, this guy's stepping in to be a difference maker. I'll believe it when I see it from this offensive line unit.
Exactly. I'm not going to sit here all summer long and talk about a bunch of redshirt freshmen being butt kickers all over the place. We're going to have to see it in the first week, and the second, and the third, and the fourth week before I say, man, these are some nasty sons of guns. Because, we've been doing that too many off seasons now, dating back to 2020, right? And 21, not good. 22, not good.
It's just gotten worse and worse and worse.
Gonna have to figure out a way to run the football. But I like the addition of Ty Haywood. Ty comes in and basically gives you competition with Jackson Lloyd at that left tackle spot and says, "Hey, one of you two highly rated players is going to have to figure it out. It's
going to
have
thing,
right? Exactly. I do think you're still in the market for 2 more. You're at 12. 14 is a minimum, I think. And if you end at 13, you're like, hey guys, stay healthy.
Go get you another Geno Vandermark type who can play basically everything. Maybe another guard, and I'd be pretty okay.
Yeah, you missed out on DJ Chester. DJ Chester ended up with Mississippi State, I believe.
That's right.
And so that would have been a really good get because he could have probably played all three interior positions. And so you're still shopping. You're probably still shopping for a center or guard.
Is our friend from Texas State still in the
Brock
transfer
Riker?
Yeah.
See, I haven't seen an update on him. As we do, Cam Metzger chimed in. Are you good? I just got over the crud myself. Nah, I'm okay. I'll be fine in 2 days. I'm sure.
Committed to Penn State.
Boo!
Missed that one.
We are
gonna suck.
All right, so Ty Haywood comes in, and I think it's a good step on the offensive line. I think that you and Cam, I think that is exactly right. That's the place. That's the place where I feel the most concerned because as much as we're all excited about Keelan and Austin, as much as we're all excited about EJ Carwell and AK Deer and Daniel Hill, another year of Daniel Hill, Kevin Riley healthy, Ryan Williams moving back to the outside. He's gonna be great again.
He's gonna be happy again.
Right. It's gonna be awesome. Lazier Brooks, Ryan Williams on the field at the same time. It's gonna be perfect. Derek Meadows breakout season. Sedarian Morgan. Doesn't matter if the whole play, if every play is getting blown up before it can really get started. So I do think you're looking for probably two more offensive linemen in the transfer portal. Ideally, at least one starter, probably at center, maybe at guard.
I mean, probably wouldn't hurt to try to find some more defensive linemen as well.
Well, no, it wouldn't.
I don't know that they need it quite as bad as they do more depth along the offensive line, but it certainly would not hurt.
It wouldn't hurt, but I think you're in a better position there because you look at the makeup of the room, and you have Jordan Renaud, who is getting older. You have Edric Hill, who is getting older. Yeah. You're welcoming back Jeremiah Beeman. You have second-year London Simmons and third-year Isaiah Faga. Like, you've got actual experience in that room, and I do think you're developing the talent in there. You got Steve Bolabumwa is going to be probably in his third year of college football, his second year at Alabama, and then of course this Kendrick Bingley Jones. I don't think that he's going to be a full-time starter, and he may not even be a starter, but I do think he's going to be one of those guys that is going in and out of the game, rotationally speaking, to where, let's say the defense plays 70 snaps, he gets 25 of them. And so, like, would you like to get a butt kicker? Yes, of course. Like, I'm never going to turn down somebody who's going to disrupt the game, but
you're not hurting for one necessarily.
I don't think it's as big of a problem. If I were Courtney Morgan, I'd just be looking at fat dudes who want to move people.
I agree.
So, all right. So let's move to the wide receiver because that's a sexy position. Noah Rogers comes in. Which one of my tabs is Noah Rogers? Right here. No. Noah Rogers comes in. He's got 2 years of eligibility left. He just finished his redshirt sophomore year with the Wolfpack. 33 catches, 441 yards, 2 touchdowns in 13 games with NC State. In 2024, as a redshirt freshman, he logged 35 receptions, 478, and 1 touchdown. So pretty close both years. 35 receptions both years. 450, 480 yards both years, 1 or 2 touchdowns. Little speed demon. Noah Rogers comes in. It was a 2023 4-star recruit. Started his college career at Ohio State, transferred to NC State. So, shoot, if Ohio State wanted a wide receiver,
feel pretty good about that.
Like, period, point blank, end of conversation. He goes to NC State after he redshirts, ranked 40th overall recruit, number 8 receiver, and number 2 player in the state of North Carolina in the class of 2023. So we will see what he brings in, but your wide receivers are pretty much set. You got Ryan Williams, Lazier Brooks, Rico Scott, Derek Meadows, Sedarian Morgan, Noah Rogers all playing wide receiver.
Yeah, I think you feel really good about that room. I mean, we felt really good about last year's room, and I still think they were solid throughout the season. But I feel better about this group than maybe last year even. I think you got more guys.
Does the puzzle just look like it fits a little better?
Yeah, something. I don't know what it is. I really thought Isaiah Horton was going to be kind of a dude in this offense. He just never really found himself. never wanted to block anybody.
That's a problem.
But I feel like I don't know. I'm just rambling here, but I just feel good about this group. That's really all I can say. I think it fits what you want to do offensively and will allow you to maybe do what you want to do offensively a little easier.
Right. So you're looking at your outside guys are basically, you got Tadarian Morgan, Derek Meadows, big body guys, basically filling that role, and they'll rotate filling that role. Ryan Williams going to move back to the slot or move back outside probably full time.
Hopefully.
But I think he can come into the slot at certain times.
Sure.
Lizzie Brooks playing slot. Rico Scott backing up Ryan Williams, rotating with Ryan Williams right there. And then so Noah Rogers probably backing up Lizzie Brooks. And so you've got 2, 2, and 2 at each position. And if I'm Kalen DeBoer, we just playing platoon ball. You 3 in, you 3 out, you 3 in, you 3 out, you 3 in. And we're going to keep everybody healthy. And I think the roles are more clearly defined this year than, we really like Jeremy. We really like Isaiah. We really like Ryan, but where's he fitting this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I'm with that.
Are we taking Ryan off the field for Lizzie Brooks? Well, Lizier's operating in the slot a little better.
Yeah.
Well, we got this kid Cole Adams. What's he doing?
Going to
nothing. Right. Nothing at all. And so I think the roles are more clearly defined. Yeah. I would not be surprised if you brought in a 7th wide receiver. I would not expect to bring in any wide receiver that's worth $1 million. But I would
bring in another guy. He's gonna take the Cole Adams role.
right, exactly. Somebody who can probably play slot or outside, and somebody who's extremely undervalued, underrated. And so I think you're looking pretty good at wide receiver. What did you see when you put Noah Rogers on your YouTube?
Well, it's nice highlight tape. Don't get me wrong. A lot of nice physical contested catches. Looks like he's got good speed. Looks like he runs pretty good routes. He's running. I saw 3 or 4 different routes in just like the 2 minutes I watched there. But I am once again just talking myself into this CJ Bailey fella. I'm looking through NC State stat because you see that 33 catches for 441 and 2 touchdowns, and you're like, that's a fine year. That's not really anything to write home about though. But like, this guy spreads the ball out incredibly. Their leading receiver only had 600 yards this season. CJ Bailey might be my quarterback to watch next season. I'm getting excited about this guy. But Noah Rogers, I think he's a good player. I don't think he's any like kind of world beater or anything. He's not going to be Julio Jones out there. He's not going to be AJ Brown out there,
But you don't want him to be AJ Brown.
Well, not current AJ Brown. But like I think he's a good, relatively bigger body. I think he's 6'2", 210, something like that, 205, somewhere around there. 6'2", 197. Okay. But still bigger guy, can make a lot of those contested catches downfield, can also seemingly work underneath a little bit. So I think he gives you a lot of versatility there. And, just based off of the amount of physical catches he's making, hopefully he's a pretty willing blocker.
That's the biggest area that you missed this year from your wide receiver. Look, he's playing outside receiver here for NC State. And there's the play that Hunter DeCiver.
That's a nice play.
That Hunter DeCiver tweeted. He's going between 2 North Carolina DBs and making a big contested catch. So he may not be in the slot. He may just be an outside receiver, and it might just be Lazier and Ryan and Rico kind of playing slot receiver for the Crimson Tide, and EJ Crowell and AK Deer, and we just kind of going to make that a gadget position. But I mean, he's a good player.
Yeah, good player.
Good player that you probably didn't spend terrible amount of money on.
I would agree. Probably spent more than you would have had to with Tony Diaz.
Yes,
but still a decent player nonetheless.
Yeah,
I think he'll do well. I mean, I don't have any reason to think that he won't have a pretty similar season to what he did last year in this Alabama offense, if not maybe a little bit better.
There we go. So Noah Rogers adds to the room. All right, last addition is Lachlan Quinn. Let's spent 1 year at Marshall, was 21 of 26 on field goal attempts. This is apparently his first year of playing organized college football. Lachlan Quinn out of Ireland has transferred. Let's see, connected 26 of 21 or 21 of 26. 21 of 26 as a freshman, long of 55 yards. What else do you have in here? Will Miller. Let's see. Thank you. Never played American football before 2 months. Before coming over to a Gaelic football player. Let's see. Appreciate everybody at Marshall. Third player on special teams that they've added. Yep. So pretty interesting that Quinn was the top ranked 2025 kicking prospect by Jamie Cole. So that'll tell you everything you need to know right there, because he's the special teams expert when it comes to recruiting. I think this is hey, Connor, you better keep your butt on it. You better keep grinding, because as soon as there's a falter, we can go in a different direction.
Yeah. I agree. For just like a bit of extra context, Connor Talty was 16 of 23 this past year on field goals. So what's that? 3 more misses than Lockin. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't think this is like, oh, there's Alabama starting kicker next year. I think this is Connor Talty. You better get your crap together and figure it out, because we will bench you for this guy.
Yeah, this is total competition.
Mm-hmm.
This is, we're bringing him in. Best man wins the job. Good luck in spring and fall camp. I'm excited for this. I mean, this to me shows a coaching staff that is turning over every stone.
Yeah, I agree. I think it shows that they are identifying the issues that they had and doing what they can to address them.
So we will see what happens. All right, so Alabama adds 3 players, but I don't know if that's the biggest news from yesterday. Let's tell you about Purple Turtle Roofing, and we'll go to what I think is probably the biggest news of the day yesterday. Purple Turtle Roofing sponsors the program. At Purple Turtle Roofing, we're not just another contractor. We're your neighbor and your advocate when it comes to protecting your home or business. With years of hands-on experience, top-tier certification, and a commitment to excellence, we've built a reputation as Alabama's go-to roofing solution. We specialize in residential roofing, commercial roofing, emergency storm repairs, full-on roof replacement, insurance claim support, and more. You can call them at 877-787-6635 for your free roof inspection today. They'll come out, let you know what you got going on with your roof, check out all the crevices. If you've got any cracks, check out your shingles. Make sure you don't have any broken shingles. Make sure that your home is protected by your roof. Make sure you call them at 877-787-6635 today. Brax Garrison or one of his teammates will come out and check out your roof, give you the peace of mind that you deserve. And just because you call them doesn't mean you're buying anything. That is a free roof inspection. That's the information that you're going to need to talk to your wife, talk to your partner, make the decisions that you need to make. So call them today at 877-787-6635. They'll come out, inspect your roof, and give you the information that you need to have the peace of mind that you deserve. All right, we're hanging out in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios, and I think the biggest news of the day yesterday was Bray Hubbard announcing his return to Tuscaloosa. Bray Hubbard, an absolute monster last year. I know everybody saw the first game against Florida State and was not so happy about that. But Bray Hubbard, in his 15 games with the Crimson Tide, ended up, where's my tweeter? Right there. Ended up with 79 tackles, 4.5 for a loss, 2 sacks, 4 interceptions, 6 pass breakups, and 3 forced fumbles. That with a stinker in the first game. So what if? Right. If the first game, and look, I kind of suspect, was he sick? Was he feeling like I'm feeling right now? I don't know. That might just be a homer excuse. But the first game was a stinker, and the stat line is still full.
Yeah, I think it's more than fair to write that game off as an outlier, because that's absolutely what it was. Every other game this season, he was a dog out there, and has been really since he stepped onto the field for Alabama. I think it's huge, not only from, the talent that he brings at that position. I mean, he is a ball hawk. You saw it, 4 interceptions, 6 pass break. Like, that's 10 completions that he took away from opposing teams. Those are 10 potential touchdowns that he took away from opposing teams. So, like, not only do you bring that back, but it's a massive leadership boost. Like, we just talked about, now I know on the defense you've got some guys who are maybe going to be stepping into more veteran roles this year, but like, you're still young in a lot of spots, especially in that defensive back room. And I think having Bray Hubbard there to be kind of the one that steers the ship for the defense is huge.
Right. And so he probably skipped out on fourth round money. Fourth round selection is kind of what I'm guessing. And And so he's coming back to Tuscaloosa, probably getting paid a pretty decent amount. Probably going to be one of Alabama's higher paid players next year.
I would hope he's getting paid whatever he would have potentially made as a 3rd or 4th round pick.
Yeah, and I think the former quarterback from Ocean Springs, Mississippi, adds this defense a lot.
Yeah. Mentality. He brings that feisty, that junkyard dog mentality.
And so I'm excited about that. I think it's a huge get. I think the defense is starting to really shape up in a really nice way.
Sophomore year, Dijon Lee.
Junior year, Xavier Brown. Sophomore year, Dijon Lee. You've got Ivan Taylor.
Yeah.
Excuse me, back there. You got Red Morgan coming back for junior year. You're starting to shape up pretty nicely. You're still waiting to see if Yanzi Pierre, tomorrow is the deadline day. You're waiting to see if Yanzi Pierre is going to transfer out. You're waiting to see, look, did you know, maybe you did because you're smart, Mason, but did you know that Keon Sabb has another year of eligibility?
I did not actually know that.
All right. So my man, 2 seasons in Michigan, 2 seasons at Alabama, I believe redshirted in one of his 2 seasons at Michigan. He's a redshirt
Come on
junior.
back, buddy.
Right. You looking at a secondary that could be no-fly zone over here.
I'm all with that, especially, when a few of those guys, like, I know everybody's ragging on Indiana over the last few weeks for being an old man team, but evidently that's like a pretty good path to succeed in college football. So go get as many veteran guys that have been around college football for a long time as you can.
And I don't think that strategy is going to work for much longer. As far as now, you do want to stay old, you don't want to be experienced, but I don't think the strategy of let's get 7th years, let's get 8th years, let's get 6th years is going to work for too much longer, because you're starting to be on the cusp. Like Kendrick Bingley Jones is going into his 7th year. He had a COVID year, he redshirted normal, and he took a medical redshirt. So that's 2 extra years that we're giving. Like, everybody gets the red shirt. The COVID class, everybody got a COVID year, but you're basically washed through that at this point. And so it's like, unless you have a medical red shirt, you should be now looking at antitrust laws, and I'm suing for extra years of eligibility.
Chambliss and his Ole Miss lawyers.
Right, and we're trying to make the distinction between, I played Division II, not Division I, and it's like, buddy, you played college football on scholarship. I'm hopeful. I think that strategy is going to last about 3 more years.
I hope so.
And I'm hopeful that we can start dialing it back in and making the sport about 17 to 21 again, instead of 17 to 26, because goodness gracious, it throws a huge imbalance in the sport. But I think you're seeing the staff's philosophy manifest itself in this transfer portal season, or in this offseason season, because we talked about yesterday the retention of the 24 class. We talked about the retention of the obviously you haven't had a whole lot of 25s. They haven't really had a real chance to transfer. Sure. I mean, this is their chance to transfer, but not a lot of them have made the jump. And so you look at the 23, 24, 25 class, and you're seeing guys retained through it. And you're seeing them in the transfer portal. Yeah, we'll bring you on a visit for Cam Coleman, but sorry, we're not offering you $3.5 million. If that's what you want, you can go to Texas. I think this Alabama coaching staff is playing the long game of roster management, roster building. Hey, we had a huge roster turnover when Coach Saban was here. We're still sort of having a roster turnover with from the Coach Saban era. I mean, you're seeing Caden Proctor, you're seeing Ty Simpson, you see all the offensive linemen that transferred out this season. Lots of them were Saban offensive linemen. You're seeing same thing on the defense. James Smith and Clay Rusaw transfer out. They're going to Ohio State together. Weird. Like, you're just seeing kind of a clear delineation from the Saban era, the Saban guys that were still on the roster, that were recruited by Saban, are starting to wash out, and we're really retaining the DeBoer guys, the guys that Coach DeBoer and Courtney Morgan all identified.
This is true.
I think that, like, it may result in a rougher 2026 season than you want, but what happens if the strategy continues to hold and you look at the offensive line that is bunch of redshirt freshmen, bunch of sophomores. Well, 27, they're a bunch of juniors, and they're all experienced, and they're ready to eat some souls. I just think the patience is kind of the move here because, well, you don't really have any other choice. It's either fire Coach DeBoer, which I'm not advocating for, fire the coaching, the whole staff, get rid of it, and reset again, and then say, well, dang it, Coach XYZ, why aren't you spending money in the transfer portal? Why aren't you spending the money that I don't give you in the transfer portal? You should be paying it out of your own pocket. You don't have any choices here other than be patient and let's see if Coach DeBoer's philosophy is gonna manifest into greater success.
I think I have confidence it will. I still feel good about this coaching staff. I know a lot of people are very down on them, and I was joining in on some of the bad mouthing this weekend, but
I think it's okay to be concerned.
That's what I'm saying. I think you should be concerned. Should we write them off and fire them? Absolutely not, because the jury is still out. I've said it before, and there's you got to give a staff at least 3 or 4 years before you make an actual decision on them, because that gives them time to get in a full freshman class that they recruited and develop them until the time they leave college. And we just haven't seen that yet.
So we will see. You brought back Bray Hubbard. You're looking at decisions from Yanzi Pierre. You're looking at decisions from Keon Sabb. Tomorrow, Wednesday, is the NFL draft deadline day. I think it's at 4 p.m. And then
where do we think Yanzi'd be? I mean, I feel like Yanzi might be like a second-round pick.
Yeah, I do,
and that's
too.
what concerns me.
Exactly. I think that that NFL scouts and the people are saying, man, that back half of the year was pretty dang good. If I can get him now, I can develop him. It'll be a rough rookie year. Well, he's not going to get me 10 sacks his rookie year, but that second year,
I would not hold your breath on Yanzi Pierre returning.
I mean, I'm hopeful.
I'm hopeful too.
I think that's still probably the most likely outcome.
I think he could be a first-round pick if he comes back.
Right. I think he's probably,
but that second
60-40 to return.
Alluring, I'm sure.
Right. I think he's probably 60-40 to return.
Yeah.
But that 40%, I wouldn't sleep on it. I would. Hey, if he goes, you'd be like, dang.
Oh well. What do you do?
More
power to him.
Justin Hill time, and you need another edge rusher. And apparently, Alabama is okay. The dots, you connect the dots. Have you seen Alabama talking to Damon Wilson?
A little bit.
So I think that they're waiting on this Yanzi decision.
Probably.
Because if Yanzi says peace out, he say, well, whatever money we were giving you anyways, we'll just add that to the pot. And
go get some mercenary for a year. Works for me.
I mean, he's a heck of a pass rusher, Damon Wilson. He's a heck of a pass rusher.
Yeah.
Shannon Terry online yesterday was saying that he's asking for $2 million plus.
I saw that and this is not defensive, but the Colorado offensive lineman Jordan Seaton, who was I think big on Alabama during his recruitment, is asking starting at 2.5.
I think I might pass on him.
I think I would probably pass at that price.
Yeah.
If we could get you down to that 1.5 range, I might be interested in you, Jordan. But that's a little too rich for Alabama's blood, I think.
Yeah, it's just a huge financial puzzle. You got at least 70. Well, and I think you probably have about $27 million because I think you have the rev share at 17, and you probably have about another 10.
Yeah, that's probably a fair estimate. I mean, because you just who are your biggest? The Bryant family. I'm guessing is a big one.
Sure, but
that Bryant Bank is not worth what Mark Cuban is worth. It's not worth what. Even like Yellowwood is worth, you're a small fish swimming in a big old pond of money.
And I don't really think that pure speculation. I don't really think the Bryant family loves this track of where this is all going.
They probably don't.
Well, they all committed to my father because they love the Tide and they wanted my father to develop them.
Sure.
These guys, why am I going to donate XYZ dollars to a kid who's
doesn't care about Alabama,
who's gone in a year?
Yeah. I mean, look, I think I'm not going to argue against anybody that feels that way because I think you are perfectly warranted to have that opinion right now because it does. I think a lot of the aura of college football has kind of been eroded with all of this stuff. The hometown pride, a lot of that stuff has kind of been washed away, I think.
How much money do you think Wilkin Formby got to go to A&M?
I have to imagine a pretty fair amount because I mean, look, he knew just as well as we did that his season did not go great, but I don't think he wanted to leave Tuscaloosa.
I was told yesterday 1.4.
I wouldn't be shocked if it was higher than that.
Nuts. And like, and that should tell the Alabama fan base what you're competing against. Right.
You are fighting against a school that is willing to pay $1.5 million.
We just gotta get guys who love the Tide.
Yeah, like,
you don't think Will Conformby
come on,
has Alabama tattooed on his heart?
Yeah,
like lived in the shadow of Bryant-Denny Stadium his whole life. Oh, I'll do anything to play for Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go through the social media hooey that's everybody's telling me bad things about myself. I'll fight the adversity. I'll move to guard. I just want to play for the Tide.
Mm-hmm. When he plays against Alabama next season, it'll be the meme of the guy like crying, holding the gun as he's about to. I don't think he's gonna. You're exactly right. He is Alabama through and through. He got offered a lot of money that he could not turn down to play somewhere else. So like he would have been foolish to turn down that offer.
Right. Is he an NFL player? He might be a back end of an NFL roster type, but I think I don't think that's a guarantee.
No.
And so if somebody's offering you 1.4,
Go take it.
brother, go start your YouTube cooking channel.
Yeah. There you go.
Take that 1.4, get you some cameras, get you a nice grill, hire a cameraman, and watch you cook in the kitchen. And there's your actual career. Like, and I'm teasing, but I do think, but I know cooking is one of his big passions. But like, you can start that 1.4 can go really far into the rest of your life.
Yeah, that 1.4 can take you a lot farther than if you were getting less and then still not making the NFL. Because like you said, I think he's at this point in his career a fringe NFL guy, if that. Now he might develop into an All-American at Texas A&M, although I don't foresee it happening. Yeah, I think if you're in his shoes, you have to take that deal.
Sure, and he just doesn't love the Tide enough. Are you crazy,
folks?
Are you crazy?
Like, live in the real world for a minute.
Well, I just want loyalty and commitment used to mean something. Are you committed to your job? Like, I know most of you are, and most of us, like, I am as well. I really love working at Bama Central.
If I got paid $1.5 million to go somewhere else, that's your butt. I'm leaving.
Media company XYZ says, hey, we're going to probably double your salary. I'm going to have a tough conversation. Yeah. I'm like, well, sorry. I'll work the whole full 2 weeks out, whatever it takes. But like, it just,
there's some deals you can't pass up.
Yes.
Especially, and look, not even to get into like, but just like now more than ever, you need to secure yourself financially.
Yeah, you just said it right there. All right, so let's transition here because we'll see what happens with the football team. We're looking for decisions for Yanzi. We're looking for decisions from Keon Sabb. And we'll find out. We're trying to hang on this transfer portal for 3 more days. All right, though, tonight, Alabama basketball back on track. Maybe really frustrating times. The Crimson Tide team. Did you watch the Saturday, or did you watch football?
Oh, I had them both screens.
Oh, double screen. I
can't blame you one bit. I wouldn't if it had been the Titans playing, I wouldn't have cared about Alabama basketball.
Yeah, I was sitting there on pins and needles.
I can imagine.
And I saw Hunter DeCiver and Katie tweeting about it. And I saw, Alabama early lead. Oh, Texas jumped out 11-point lead. Alabama closed. Texas 11-point lead. Alabama closed 11-point lead. And then you look at the box score and you see, you missed like 12 free throws in the second half. And this didn't really play very well. Didn't really play very tough.
Yeah, I don't want to reveal any secret information or anything, so I won't say who it was that said this. But in our work group chat, someone had put it perfectly, and it was just this felt like an older Alabama basketball game from 10 years ago, where it was you let a team come into your house that you should beat. You let them jump out to a big lead in front of you. You fight back just to keep the fans interested. You get it within 4, get it within 2, and then they extend it back to 10. And then you get back within 4, get back within 2. They extend it to 10 again. It was just, it looked like an Avery Johnson coach team out there.
Tale of 2 halves.
God.
It's a tale of 2 halves. You better buckle up. All right, so you're going over to the hump, right?
The hump.
Mississippi State. You're taking on Mississippi State. Mississippi State is... Let me click to my Kenny Pomeroy. Control F, Mississippi. Oh, great. How about you not spell Mississippi right? MISSI, SSI, PPI. They are 73rd in KenPom. Alabama still at 14 despite the 0-2 start in the SEC play. Mississippi State, the Bulldogs are 91st in offensive efficiency, so not great, not good. They're 66th in defensive efficiency, so also not good. My internet's going crazy. Alabama 14 in Gen Palm's total analytics. Second still in total offense, 128.2 offensive efficiency rating, and 79th in defense. I think they were 77th the other day before the Texas game. So small dip after the Texas loss. Mississippi State, didn't they beat? Yeah, they beat Texas and Oklahoma to start the SEC play, but then they lost to Kentucky. So they're 2-1. They beat both the newbies. They beat Texas 101-98 in overtime in Texas.
Smoked Oklahoma.
Thank you.
And then got smoked by Kentucky.
Yeah, 72-53 at home. They beat Oklahoma. Then they went to Kentucky and got wiped.
The doors blown off.
Yeah, 92-68. So really interesting Mississippi State team.
There's no transitive property to apply here.
I don't even think that.
I mean, not that there ever is, but, there's no, Alabama beat Kentucky pretty bad, and they beat Mississippi. Well, it's like Mississippi State beat Texas, who just beat you, buddy.
Quincy Ballard is the name that looks scary to me. 7 foot,
600 pounds.
That just shows more my brain is. That just shows that I've been fighting this. I was last night all night long.
It's the Iceman. He came for you.
Right. That's exactly right. Quincy Ballard, 7 foot, 260 pounds.
Big old boy.
260 pounds, not 600. My dyslexia chiming in.
What about T. Bartlett? 6'11", 290.
Well,
don't know how much he's playing.
No, Ken Palm doesn't have him even on the sheet here.
Okay, interesting. ESPN has him.
Right, so Ken
must not be seeing the court much.
Most frequent lineups over the last 5 games. He's not out.
Good deal. That helps.
What did you say his name was?
T. Bartlett. T-B-A-R-T-L-E-T-T.
No, not here on
number 3 center.
Not here on the Kenny Palm sheet. Here,
what about Guy Chol?
Their centers. Quincy Ballard, 7 foot, 260. Anchor. What a name. Anchor. There's no N in there. Is 6'9", 230. He's getting 26% of the center minutes.
Got a lot of international players on this team.
Jamarian Davis Fleming is getting 15% of the center minutes. Excuse me. Brandon Walker is getting 5% of the center minutes. So they go 7 foot, 6'9", 6'10", 6'8 at center.
Mississippi State has a player on their team named Brandon Walker. That's hilarious.
Yes, it is hilarious. Brandon Walker, your stats really.
They got some size. That concerns me a bit. I mean, look, anytime this Alabama basketball team faces a team that has decent size down low, I'm going to be concerned going into that matchup because they can give you some headaches.
Brandon Walker, 4.7 points a game, 2.5 rebounds.
Okay. All right. Not the most impressive stat
sure,
line there.
But it's just funny that Barstool his own.
Yes. But yeah, look, after that Texas game, I'm not gonna go into this with any confidence like I did that time because they made me look foolish. I'm a bit concerned going into this. I think they will give you some headaches down low. I still don't know that Aiden Sherrill can bang in the middle like you need him to. I still don't know that Taylor Bowen is willing to go fight for tough rebounds like you need him to.
Well, you may not even have him tonight. He's doubtful.
Yeah. So I'm concerned going into this one.
Bowen and Latrell Wright are both doubtful for Alabama. Obviously, Collins is out. Davion Hannah is out as well. Davion has developed some sort of a medical issue as well. It hasn't really been disclosed. But so you're looking not good. It's like, who did I see? Was it Chase?
1-3 in SEC play.
Was it Chase? It was somebody on the beat. I think it might have been Chase Goodbread that said the Alabama basketball team feels like they go into the locker room and cast lots for which 2 players miss the game.
He's not wrong. That's how it feels. It has been like that every night. It is just which guy. Nate Oates spins a big roulette wheel, and whoever it lands on doesn't get to play that night.
Billy and Charlie, you guys are out.
Yeah, it's painful. The health has been the one thing holding this team back. Well, I mean,
health and toughness.
Yeah, health and toughness. But health is the biggest thing maybe holding this team back right now because we just haven't seen what they look like at full strength.
All right, so LeBaron Philon, you've got a huge task tonight.
Don't cramp up.
Don't cramp up, and can you guard Josh Hubbard? Because to me, it's basically if you can stay in front of Josh Hubbard, and if you can keep them off the offensive glass, well, you're going to win. Period. It's basically as simple as that. Now, I think both of those things are very, very, very big tasks. Staying in front of Josh Hubbard, and I think keeping them off the offensive glass is a pretty big task. So, Ken Palm has Alabama winning 88-82. So it's a close game tonight. Let's see. Effectively, oh man. Yeah. Turnover rate for Mississippi State is pretty high in turnover rate. They're not forcing a lot of turnovers either, so Alabama should be able to protect the basketball. Mississippi State taking 43s a game, basically. Alabama still taking about 53s a game or so per the 40 minutes or so. So I think that I'm going to say that Alabama bounces back. You don't start 1-3. I think that probably Coach Oates has been living in their rear ends, as he should, after you drop 2 in a row. And I think they bounce back, but I still think this basketball team is still in the 16 to 24 range as far as best teams in the country. I think that your expectation should be to still look. You started at 1-2 in the league. You can still win the regular season if you start putting things together, but I think that you're looking at a Sweet 16 type team, a third, fourth place team in the SEC type team, a SEC tournament semifinalist type team, and we'll just see if they can rise above that.
Yeah, I've not seen a Final Four squad yet. Really, I don't think. I think there was a time where maybe for a minute there it was like, oh, maybe you have something, but the toughness has not been there at all this season. Not in its entirety like you need it to be. So I'm with you. Good team, probably will go relatively far, but you're going to run into another team that actually wants to play hard basketball, and they're going to bounce you probably.
I'm going to take Alabama 76-70. I'm going to take it lower scoring than it is on Ken Palm. 76-70 is what I'm going to take tonight.
I'll take the Tide. I'll take Alabama. We'll just roll it. We'll roll 70, 78, 74.
All right. Nice and close for Alabama at Mississippi State. It's going to be at 8 o'clock. You can follow the coverage at BamaCentral.com. I know that Katie Wyndham and Hunter DeCiver are driving over to Mississippi State, driving over to Starkville to catch that game. You can check out their Twitter machines at Hunter DeCiver, at Katie Wyndham _ on the Twitter machine. So that's going to do it for our show today. We'll watch the transfer portal the rest of the day. We will talk about that tomorrow, the NFL draft decisions tomorrow. We'll talk about the basketball game, win, lose, or draw, right here on the Joe Gaither Show. Big thanks to Purple Turtle Roofing for sponsoring the program. Big thanks to Derek Daniel, State Farm Insurance, for hosting the program. Thanks to you guys for watching us on the Bama Central YouTube channel, on the Facebook page, listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, subscribe, rating, reviewing, and calling us on the voicemail line at 205-462-7340, extension 800.
Thanks for joining us on today's edition of the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. Keep up with Joe on all his social media pages at Joe Gaither6. Subscribe, rate, and review the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and be sure to read us daily at BamaCentral.com.